Okay, Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Okay, dalam video ini kita akan sambung kod 8C di mana saya akan menerangkan tentang mathematical part behind this code. How to solve the linear system by using ERO. Okay, as we know, linear system can be written as AX equals to B. And then we write this as augmented matrix where we have matrix A and then matrix B. So by performing ERO, okay, we can get value X, all X. Okay, so how to get X? Okay, we need to use ERO. Okay, so let's discuss the mathematic part behind the code. Okay, so for example, we have this matrix. Okay, this is matrix A. Okay, and this is matrix B. Okay, so by performing ERO, we need to reduce the or convert the matrix to upper triangular matrix. Okay, where we need to get all zeros, okay, below the diagonal element. Okay, so from here we can get the code. Okay, alright, so our aim is to get this matrix. Okay, so first let's start with the reference row. Okay, first we will start with the first row. This we call as K. Okay, so we refer to this row and we need to change the element below below this element A11. Okay, so we want to have 0, 0 and 0. Okay, so if we have ERO, okay, what we should do is, okay, we want to get A11. No, sorry, A21. Okay, so to make this element become 0, so the new A21 is equal to the old A21, okay, minus some coefficient, okay, and then this coefficient must multiply by the element in the reference row. So we have here A11. Okay, so that we can get 0. Okay, so we know that A21 minus A21 is 0. Okay, so let's get the coefficient in front of A11. Okay, so we divide by A11. So this one must be A21. Okay, so from here we can see that we have A21 minus A21, we get 0. So this one we call as P. Okay, so this is one of the example. Okay, means that when K equals to 1, okay, when K equals to 1, and then we want to change the second row, I equals to 1, I equals to 2, okay, the second row, and then P is this one. Okay, so this one is for J equals to 1. Okay, how about we want to change this element. Okay, this one can be any value because our aim is to get 0 for A21. Okay, let's say for J2, okay, for J2, A22 is equal to A22 minus P times A12. This one. Okay, the element above the A22. Okay, so same goes for J equals to 3. Okay, for A2 3 is equal to A2 3 minus P A1 3. Okay, and for J equals to 4, A24 is A24 minus P times A14. Okay, so this one is if we want to change the element in row 2. Okay, now for row for row 3. Okay, for row 3, still we use k equals to 1 as reference row. Okay. Okay, for k equals to 1, I equals to 3. Okay, now we want to change this one. This one is already done. Tadi dah buat. Okay, now I equals to 3. So for j equals to 1. Okay, this one we want to have 0. Okay, we want to have A31 as 0. A31 equals to A31 minus something times by A11. Okay, because we still use A11 as reference element, so that we can get 0. Okay, so what is P? So P is A31 over A11. Okay, so this is P. For k equals to 1, I equals to 3. Okay, so we can use the same formula for j equals to 2. So for j equals to 2, we get A32, this one, equals to A32 minus P times A12. Okay, so we do the same thing for j until j equals to 4. Okay, now let's move to I equals to 4. Okay, I equals to 4. Okay, so for k equals to 1, I equals to 4. Okay, and for the first column, j equals to 1, we will get A41 is equals to A41 minus something times A11. So that we get 0. So what is the P? Okay, P is A41 over A11. Okay, so by using the same P, we can get other element in row 4. Okay, so for j equals to 2, so we will get A42 is equals to A42 minus P times A12. Okay, so we use the same formula for j equals to 4. So A44 equals to A44 minus P times A14. Okay. Okay, now we already complete this part. Okay, this part. We want to have 0 below the leading the reference row in first reference row where k equals to 1. Okay, now our aim to get 0 for this row. Okay, so now to get 0 for row 2 and row 3, for row 3 and row 4, we need to use row 1. So k now is 2. We need to use row 2. Okay, so k equals to 2, and now we want to change I equals to 3. Okay, the third row. Okay, so for k equals to 2 and I equals to 3, because we want to change this becomes 0 because this one is already 0. Okay, now I equals to 3. Okay, for j equals to 2. Okay, sebab ini dah jadi kosong. So for j equals to 2, so the element is A 3 2 equals to A 3 2 minus P times A, we use 2 2 as our reference element. Okay, where we want to get 0. Okay, so to get A32 as 0 equals to 0, so we need to multiply A22 by A32 over A22. So this one is P. Okay, by using the same P, we can get A33 equals to A33 minus P times A23. Okay, we use this one. Okay, and then A34 is equals to A34 minus P times A24. This one. Okay, so dah dapatkan semua, kita dah upgrade semua elemen dalam matrix A. Okay, sama juga untuk matrix B. Okay, matrix B. So untuk B, berapa ni? B3. B3 is equals to the old B3 minus P times B2. Okay, we use the same P. Okay, itu kalau kita ada untuk K2, I3. Sekarang I4. Okay, I4. K2, I sama dengan 4. So, J kita start dengan 2. Okay, so A42 sama dengan A42 tolak P times A. Kita still gunakan A22 sebagai rujukan. Kita akan dapat kosong. Okay, so P kita adalah A42 bahagi dengan A22. Okay, kita gunakan yang sama. Kita akan dapat sampailah ini. Okay, so kita akan cari 42 A44. Okay, A44 adalah sama dengan A44 tolak P times A44. So, 24. Okay, so daripada sini kita boleh generate dia punya formula. Okay, formula loop dia.